Hey everybody, I'm Connor. How you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a review of Suicide Squad, and I'm sure you will have heard by now some of the other reviews that are out there and what people are saying about the film. So I'm going to be bringing you my thoughts about the film and kind of what's kind of gone wrong here, I suppose. So starting off, this is a classic case of the trailers being much better looking than the final film. So I think from the trailers, a lot of people thought it was going to be DC's version of Deadpool. Of course it's not going to be as funny as Deadpool, but there was a lot of moments in the trailers that kind of tried to be funny but also at the same time have the same dark edge and action to them that you would expect from the kind of Batman or Superman universe, especially the more recent DC movies that you've seen. But overall the plot was completely lacking in the final film. There was just nothing that really happened, or there's no meaning to the whole story. They would just take a bunch of people with extraordinary powers or kind of capabilities, knowledge, know-how. They put them all together in this deserted city and they say, right, go and sort out this problem that we have because Batman and Wonder Woman and the Justice League are too busy, because that is genuinely what happens. Like, we see Batman in the beginning of the film, he comes in for a little bit, and then there's a little bit in the after credits with Bruce Wayne or Ben Affleck from the Batman vs Superman. But at no point throughout the film does Batman help, or do they call upon Batman or anyone else like that to help out. So instead they just get these bunch of characters together. There's no kind of hidden message about helping each other or teaming up with people that you wouldn't usually team up with, because that's thrown out the window. They're just forced to work together. They have to go and fight this supernatural creature that no one should really be able to beat, but somehow they're able to trick and beat anyway, because of course they do. That's the film, that's what needs to happen. And it's the same kind of atmosphere, I suppose. It's not quite as dark as the Batman vs Superman, but it's the same kind of atmosphere. It's very dark, there's lots of dark scenes, but I think it does have its moments. On the upside, there are definitely some funny moments in the film that everyone was laughing at and got pulled off very well, and there's some also great action sequences. If you just want to enjoy a nice enjoyable action film that has some comedy in it and you don't want to think too much, then sure, you can go and watch Suicide Squad, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you actually want an interesting story and some good characters with depth to them, but this is like a bad tasting prequel, because ultimately this is just to introduce the mainstream audience into a bunch of villains that we're going to see in the future in the DC universe. Because we get introduced to the Joker, we get introduced to Harley Quinn because they're obviously going to be a team, and then we get introduced to a bunch of other characters, mainly Deadshot, which is probably going to show up in the next Batman film. I would think so anyway. That's my opinion about it. This is just a complete prequel film to set up the characters, set up who they are for a mainstream audience, because I already knew who some of them were. Obviously not all of them, because I'm not a huge comic fan. I just watched the films and played some of the Batman games as well, but there's no real depth to them because it's just setting characters up. There's no real story or plot or meaning behind what happens. They just charge in, get it done, and it's over. It's very bitty, it's very slow. Here's some action, here's some more walking around, here's some more action, oh here's a nice big boss fight to end off the film, that kind of thing. But like I say, if you enjoy the kind of meaningless, no message behind it, very dull characters, some of them, they all have some really annoyed me, they all have their own kind of bios, their own stories that get set up by this head of security woman. They all get set up and they all have their own cutscenes, if you will. But then there's this other character called Slipknot who just gets introduced just before they go on the mission, and funnily enough, he gets killed off straight away. He doesn't have his own cutscene, he doesn't have his own introduction like all the rest, but he just gets killed off immediately, which is a bit annoying because you know that he's going to get killed off, you know he's not a major character. So just little things like that really adds up, but it does have its moments, like I say, and it does have some great comedy, and you have to commend Margot Robbie for her great performance. I do really think that she did a great job with that. I'm pretty on the fence about Jared Leto and his Joker. I think he definitely brings his own kind of style to it, just like anyone else has in the past, and I definitely don't think you should be comparing his Joker acting or like to any of the others, like Heath Ledger, especially because he's the most recent. But it's definitely enjoyable, his style anyway. I think it was quite good. I just wish that they'd included him a bit more within the film, although it is Suicide Squad, it's about all of the characters as opposed to the Joker on his own. So I would rate this film a 6 out of 10. You know, it's not quite a 5, not quite borderline, but it does have enough moments, enough comedy for me anyway to push it up into a 6. And let me know what you thought of the film if you've already seen it, or tell me in the comments if you're already plan to go and see it with someone or by yourself perhaps, and just tell me what you think of it. Subscribe to the channel for more content every single week, and be sure to like this video to let me know that you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.